Okay, so a couple things before I get into the video. Some of you might be wondering where the final video for the Camp Here in There series is, and honestly, I think I'm probably not going to do it. Having to stick to a deadline like that was just not really fun overall, and I like to make content about things I enjoy and not feel like I have to do it, so I don't really know. Maybe I'll make it in the future, but for now I'm just going to do my own thing. Secondly, thanks for 600 subscribers. I know this happened like a week or two ago, but I felt like I needed to say something. I can't believe that this channel I started in the middle of COVID when I was quite young now has 600 subscribers. I mean, this channel is always just going to be me talking about whatever interests me, so I'm glad so many people are just willing to hear me yap for like an average of like 8 minutes. Thirdly, and this is just random, but if you guys ever have an album or a song you'd like me to review / analyze or just talk about, just ask in the comments and I might do it if it interests me. Fourth and finally, subscribe. If I get 700 by the end of the year, I think I'll actually lose my mind because that would be crazy. Okay, anyway, on to the video. So, people who know me IRL on Twitter or have my Discord most likely know how much I love this song. Ever since You Sound Like Louis Burdett came out on May 13th. Christ, it's been that long. I've been completely obsessed with it. I'm not entirely sure why. It might have been because it sort of coincided with when my Chonny Jash hyperfixation sort of came back after not being around. How do I put this? It was like lower, as in I had more of an interest in other musicians like Will Wood, and then around the release of You Sound Like Louis Burdett was when things really picked up again. When this song came out, I listened to it for the first time and I absolutely lost my mind over it. And now with 2,458 plays of it as of recording this, I'm still losing my mind over it. The song You Sound Like Louis Burdett is a cover of a song by the same title by the Whitlams. The Whitlams are an Australian indie rock band, and although when I first heard of them I had no idea who they were, when I brought them up to my parents they somehow both knew them, and also, funnily enough, did not like them. The original song is a bit different from the cover, both lyrically and musically. Chonny adds an entire section where he talks about his friends, or at least a sort of alternate version of his friends, not meant to be 100% realistic. The original song apparently centers around this guy, Louis Burdett, that the lead singer of the Whitlams, Tim Friedman, shared a cottage with and just kinda didn't like him, even going so far as to call him an underemployed avant-garde musician. Throughout the song he usually makes a reference to himself or people around him sounding like Louis Burdett. I suppose that in Chonny's version, Louis Burdett is just a stand-in for someone who is kind of arrogant, thinks they're better than everyone else, or has a big ego, which would be on brand for Chonny. If I'm honest, I definitely prefer the sound of Chonny's version. Maybe I'm just biased, or maybe it's because I don't really know the Whitlams, but Chonny's version just seems a lot more filled out. Okay, after all that backstory, it's time to start talking about the song. Honestly, I'm not going to do a proper analysis like I usually do where I go through each verse. I'm just more going to talk about the song or maybe focus on specific lines. Firstly, let's talk about one of my favourite parts of the song, the harmonies. The harmonies in this song are actually fucking incredible, specifically in the choruses such as in the word holidays. This is probably one of the main reasons why I instantly loved this song. Also, the new lyrics, as I've said, are absolute bangers. Next are a couple things to clear up. Number one, Tempe is a suburb in Sydney. It's not talking about the place in Arizona, because the Whitlams are from Sydney. And also, Marrickville and Tempe are like directly next to each other, so it's obvious when he says Tempe, he means the place in Sydney and not the place in Arizona. Secondly, it does rain in Tempe. But seriously, to explain this line, it could mean one of two things that are like complete opposites. Either it means it never rains, as in nothing bad or anything negative ever happens in Tempe, from his point of view, or, alternatively, it could be the abbreviated version of the saying, it never rains, but it pours, meaning that one bad thing is often followed by a lot more bad things. I personally want to lean towards the second one, but I honestly have no idea. 3. The reason planes are mentioned multiple times throughout the song is because the suburb of Tempe is right next to the Sydney airport, so there would obviously be a lot of planes. Number 4. T is referring to Chonny. It's clearly he's referring to himself because of all the things he says mirror the same opinions he has about himself and his career, and makes sense to call himself a rock star, but then he also has like the low self-esteem part of it. You know what I mean? It's on brand. You Sound Like Louis Burdett just has this sort of like vibe to it. It's sort of hard to explain. It's almost the type of song you'd listen to on the first day back at school or hanging out with friends in the suburbs, which I mean, the second one I said just then is pretty much what the song is about. The song honestly quite feels like home to me, minus all the drug and alcohol stuff, obviously. I've definitely listened to the song way more times than a person should, but I can't help it. The song just goes so hard. I've had multiple friends message me being like, why are you still listening to that song? Because they can see it on Discord. And I'm just like, look, not my problem that it slaps. So at this point, I pretty much finished this video, apart from one thing, which is not important at all, but I just wanted to yap. So I really love this song, and I really want to make a music video for it. I have all these ideas to make it. I just have to execute them well for it to work. I've never made a video like this before, but I feel like it's going to turn out really cool because I've started some filming stuff, so make sure you stick around for that. It will most likely be months away. Don't think that I'm going to randomly jump scare. I will give warning, maybe on Twitter or in the community thing. You know what I mean. Also, some of you might be wondering, why didn't I make this video when the song came out? I didn't intend to ever make a video about this, but I was feeling extra silly, and so I did. That's my only reasoning. I genuinely do not have another reason. Thanks for watching. I know it's been a little bit since I've uploaded, mostly because I was sick and then I had to catch up with schoolwork, but I'm gonna get back on like the video editing grind and upload. Thanks for making it this far in the video, and I will see you next time, which will hopefully be in 2 weeks unless Jash Toba stuff is killing me. And I'll see you next time.